Good afternoon. Welcome to the Family Health and Wellness Hour. This is Amy Ressler. I'm County Extension Agent for Family and Consumer Sciences, and I love doing radio programs, especially when I have people here to help. So I've got a whole gang here. You guys want to say hello?
Hello.
Hello. So introduce yourself, Rachel.
My name's Rachel Cooper. I'm the 4-H program assistant here in Montgomery County.
Jenni Adams. I'm the FCS coordinator here in Montgomery County.
I'm the incredible Josh Merillat. I am the program assistant for Family and Consumer Sciences.
Yeah, he's very modest as well.
Very.
So, yep, FCS, that's Family and Consumer Sciences. So that's what we do, part of the Extension service. And, Extension is all about education. So we do as much as we can to reach out to people to teach them new things. So that's a little bit about what our radio program is about every week. But this time we're going to talk about a Family and Consumer Sciences issue. But before we do that, we got to let you know about some of the other things that are going on in some of our other areas that we work in Extension. So, Rachel, tell us what's going on in 4-H.
Enrollment. It is that time of year again. We are encouraging everyone to re-enroll if you have been in 4-H in the past, and if not, we're encouraging you to enroll. That started August 15th, and 4-H is year-round. You can enroll at any time, but if you do it before October 1st, you get a $5 discount, which is always good, considering that's what we're going to be talking about in a little bit.
Where do I go to sign up?
You can go to call our office at 936-539-7823 extension 3. We can give you any information if you are not sure about 4-H or really what you want to do. And then we have an online enrollment system called 4-H Connect. It's pretty straightforward. You fill out your information, pick a club, and join. We have about 21 different clubs here in 4-H, here in Montgomery County, spread throughout the county. They meet at least once a month in different areas, different times, different locations. And we have all different kinds of clubs, some that are project clubs, some that are community clubs. It kind of depends on what you're interested in. For more information, you can visit our social media sites. Those are big and happening. Our Montgomery County 4-H Facebook page, Alicia Bergeron, our 4-H coordinator, keeps that up to date, lets you know what's going on. And then also once you join 4-H, we have our Friday updates that go out every Friday, kind of keep you in the loop about what's going on. So,
what's the age range for 4-H?
4-H is for 8 years old and in the 3rd grade through high school until you graduate. And we are asking that if you are 8 years old and entering the 3rd grade, kind of hold off on enrollment until September 1st, because if not, the 4-H Connect system will count you as a Clover kid, which is for our younger members that are younger than 8 and in the 3rd grade. They can still participate. They just won't be able to be on the competitive level. So if you're on that borderline, we ask that you wait till September 1st just so that you can compete as a junior 4-H member.
Cool.
And the other thing to remind people about enrollment, I mean, some people feel like I'm a 4-H member, I enrolled, but you do have to re-enroll every year.
Correct. You have to re-enroll every year. It's a $25 fee every year. Again, unless you do it before October 1st, you get that $20. But yes, you do have to re-enroll every year. Make sure all your information's up to date, because we don't want to be calling or sending information to someone that no longer lives there. So we want to make sure that we have everything that we need on you.
Sure. And I think the other thing to talk about with 4-H too is that there's a little bit of something for everybody, anybody, whatever you're interested in. There's probably something in 4-H that you can do that's related to that.
I tell people that all the time. Sorry about that. I tell people that all the time. A lot of times people think that to be in 4-H you have to have some sort of livestock animal, and that just is not the case. We have food and nutrition, we have clothing and textiles, we have public speaking, we have robotics, we have a little bit of everything. If you can think of it, there's something in 4-H for it. And I've had someone tell me, well, I dance, I can't do 4-H, and that's just not true. We have a competition where you can compete at our county and district roundups, and you can dance. So there is literally...
You can dance.
You can dance if you want to.
Exactly.
Leave your friends behind. Keep going. I'll just sing in the background.
There is a little bit of something for everyone.
Awesome. Okay, so Jenni, tell us about what's going on in FCS, Family and Consumer Sciences.
Food preservation.
Canning.
Yes, we have our water bath canning class tomorrow from 10 to 2. Thanks, Josh. So we'll go over some basics, and then we get in the kitchen and actually do the process. There is a $35 fee for that. That includes lunch, supplies, and you'll get to take some of the product home. And then next week on the 27th, we are doing pressure canning. Different process, and it's a lot of people, it makes them nervous, so they like to get in there and do it hands-on and try that first.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about with Family and Consumer Sciences, Josh?
Yeah, pressure canning and water bath canning. I'm excited about those classes. Also, I'm gearing up on my side to start some financial management focused classes.
Yeah.
We're going to start with Thrive by 5, teaching preschoolers about money. So you can go back on IR Community Radio's website and hear our program a couple months ago that we did on that for more information.
Great. Yep. And so the other thing, we're kind of in the planning process right now for 2017. I mean, it's August, so a lot of people are thinking about going back to school, and we're thinking about what are we going to do starting in January through December of 2017. So there's a lot of things that we have to offer, a lot of classes we can do. In 4-H and in Family and Consumer Sciences, there's so much that really can help everyone that's out there. So if you're listening and you're thinking about, what maybe we could do for you, there's probably something that we can provide. So talking about school, we do lots of curriculum enrichment kind of stuff, which is, we can come in and do like just 1 or 2 little programs, little presentations for you, or we can do it like a full-blown enrichment curriculum. Egg to Chick is one of the popular ones, and Learn, Grow, Eat, and Go is another one that we love to do. I want to tell you a little bit, too, about some of the other departments, some stuff that's going on. So our master gardeners stay really busy with our horticulture department, and our horticulture agent is Michael Potter. And so there's a few things that they wanted us to let you know about. September 10th coming up is a presentation on bees. So how to raise and care for bees. And that will be at the Tom Leroy Education Building, which is there near our office, or in our kind of complex, whatever. We have a whole complex, right, guys?
Right.
It's always a complex.
It's a couple of buildings, but we can call it a complex. It sounds really good. Anyway, so we call it the Master Gardener Building, but September 10th, bees, raising and caring for bees. That starts at 9 a.m. It ends at 11. There's a $5 fee for that, but really good information. And then also our Master Gardeners are known for their plant sales. So we've got a plant sale coming up on Saturday, October 1st, and that's going to be a variety of plants, pretty much any kind of fall plant except for vegetables and herbs. So vegetables and herbs are going to actually be part of the plant sale on October 15th. And that is also going to be held in conjunction with Open Garden Day. So 9 to 11 is the Open Garden Day, and then that'll last. The plant sale will actually last until noon, so give you a chance to get you some plants. So same with the plant sale on October 1st. It's also 9 to noon. So we'd love to see folks out there. Our agriculture department, we've got Michael Heimer that's there, and there's a couple of things that he wanted to let folks know about. He's got a presentation on forage testing to promote cost-effective feeding, and this is feeding of animals.
Not people's.
Yeah, people's, we do a lot of stuff about feeding peoples, but this is about feeding animals. So it's a little bit about understanding your forage quality, and that's going to be on October 13th. If you would like to have testing of your soil, you can have that done, and samples need to be submitted to the extension office by the 29th, but that'll kind of help you know exactly what's in your soil, so when they're talking about it at the program on October 13th, you will know about that. So October 13th, and I'm not exactly sure about what the time is. But you can call our extension office to find out more about that, so 936-539-7822, or you talk with Mike Heimer. Also, he's got a pesticide applicator training, TDA certified training, and so the cost for that is actually $50. That's going to be held on Tuesday, September 27th, beginning at 9 a.m., and it will also be there at our extension office. Again, same number. You can call, and if you have any questions, you can visit with Mike Heimer about that. And then one more thing that he wanted us to let you know about, September 22nd, is a What About Our Water program presentation about rainwater harvesting and groundwater. So that will be at 6 p.m. on September 22nd. And we'll have rainwater systems and applications, costs, that kind of thing covered by Jim Buncho, and the Gulf Coast Aquifer Update by Mr. Bob Daly. So both really good speakers, very, very knowledgeable. There's actually no registration fee for this, and it's open to anybody. It's actually being sponsored by Farm Bureau and the MCBIA. So they'll be there, but it's really open for anybody. So we stay busy. We've got lots of stuff going on at the Extension office. We have to take a little break, and we will come back in just a bit. Before we do that, we want to make sure that you check out our Facebook page. We have Healthy Living in Montgomery County and Montgomery County 4-H and Montgomery County Extension Office, Texas A&M AgriLife Extension. The Extension. It's not the Extension. It is the Extension, but it's not the Extension. So we're going to come back. We will be right back after this break. Stay tuned.
You are listening to the Extension Hour on irlonestar.com.
Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station, and we are looking for talk show hosts and volunteer DJs for our music shows. Are you interested in having your own talk show on Lone Star, or have you always wanted to live out your dreams of being a music DJ? With the addition of Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1 and video aspects of our talk shows, we are needing people to grow with us. If you or someone you know might be interested, please contact us online at irlonestar.com/contact us, or call the station at 936-647-5747 for more information.
You're listening to the Extension Hour with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension. Visit us online at montgomery.agrilife.org.
And we are back. Welcome to the Extension Hour right here on Lone Star Internet Radio. And that's www.irlonestar.com. And so we are always happy to be here on Fridays. We love it when we have our chance to do our Family Health and Wellness Hour.
I hate it when he fades out the music, though. It's my favorite part.
The music, because you're over there dancing. Josh is wired up today. Yeah. what the deal is. Okay, so... yes, so the Extension Hour, we're talking about family health and wellness. And well, it's been about a month or two, or I don't know, time flies when you're having fun. It's been a little while ago. We had our topic for the day was on consumer decision-making, the 4-H contest, and we were talking a lot about consumerism and things we buy. And then kind of in one of the breaks, we started talking a lot about using credit cards and how that affects budgeting and consumerism and those kinds of things. And so we decided we would come back sometime and talk about a little bit more about credit, more specifically about credit when we talk about consumerism. And so you may be thinking, okay, you said it's family and consumer sciences, family health and wellness hour. How does that relate to, you're talking about money. So, but really, wellness and health has a lot to do with financial wellness, economic health. Yes. Yeah, because there's so much, family life is so interconnected and so many things affect so many other things. So managing money is, you guys you mentioned before about the Thrive by 5, and a lot of that has to do with parenting and how parenting affects your decisions.
Children are sponges, and they're going to see your bad habits of spending and not saving, and they're just going to imitate that when they're older.
Sure, and you start to wonder about how that cycle continues and
That's right.
how to break the cycle. So we went in Extension all about solutions. So, but first, I'm assuming people know what the problem is. I mean, I would guess, and I wish I had statistics on this, but I would guess that there's probably everybody has issues with credit cards and finances. Some people learn really good habits and handle their credit really well, and then some of us learn the hard way.
Absolutely.
So we thought we'd have just a little bit of a true confessions. Is that what you put on your Facebook page,
Yeah, true
Josh?
confessions of credit card users. I think we're all credit card users. Some are abusers, but that's okay.
We're not going to name abusers.
No, we're not naming abusers.
Credit abusers.
Shopaholics and things. But the Federal Reserve did release statistics for 2015, and the total of American credit card debt is at $935.6 billion.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot. It's not as bad as in 2008 when the whole recession happened. It was $1.2 trillion, or $1.02 trillion, sorry. So
Wow.
we're a little better.
Tell me those statistics again. What year?
2015, it was a total of $935.6 billion in debt.
And previously it was?
Previously, in 2008, during the recession, it got up to $1.02 trillion.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So it's been good a little bit since the economy got better.
Yeah.
It's helped, but basically whether the economy is good or bad, it doesn't matter. Credit card debt is an issue, and we've got to see why and figure it out.
Yeah. So, I mean, one of the reasons why it's an issue is interest rates. Those pile up, and you end up spending way more than you realize that you.
Yeah. They say the the average interest rate right now is about 15%.
Wow.
So that's and probably higher for, depending on your credit score, of course. They're going to charge you a lot of interest because you're a high risk, and people that rely on credit cards the most just to survive are getting the highest interest rates charged.
So that means, you have probably less money, or you struggle more with money, and you're going to most likely have a higher interest rate, so it's actually going to cost you more.
Right.
Actually, so I learned this about this electric bill because I am a low energy consumer. My electric bill per kilowatt is actually more than someone who uses more electricity than I do, which that's kind of opposite from consumerism, so I'm getting all confused. Anyway, so let's get back to interest rates on credit cards can kill you. And I really like that, I'm trying to remember what year it was that they did a credit reform act, and on your credit card statements now you have to have, they have to put on there a little chart or give you information that tells you if you only pay the minimum amount, this is how much it's going to cost you later. Because I think that was one thing before that people just didn't really realize. You don't see it, you don't think about it, you think, oh yeah, the minimum payment's like $15. I can pay that.
Well, that,
right?
and I also feel like, because I am I'm going to say new, within the last 2 years credit card user, it's not like you get a handbook on how you're supposed to handle your credit. You just kind of have to read the 15-page fine print, and if you don't, then that's kind of where your problem lies. So I'm glad that they did that. I did not know about that, and I'm one of those, I'll admit, was a little bit of an abuser. I am learning better habits, though, but I definitely think that it's a good idea to say what you would owe if you pay that minimum, because I was all about, $25 a month? I can handle that.
Yeah.
Let me rack up this bill, and then I'll just eventually pay it off. And, that's not very good to do.
Yeah,
That's right.
as that interest adds up, you end up paying for it 5-10 times over.
Well, with the $935 billion in debt, they averaged it out. So Americans between 18 and 65, that equals about $4,700 of debt per American in that age bracket.
Wow.
Okay, so with a 15% APR or interest rate, you're paying a total of $22,000 after interest. It's $18,000 in interest you're paying for that $4,700 in debt.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That
it takes
is
like
crazy.
16 years to pay $4,700 off.
Yeah.
And for that small loan, $4,700, it's costing you $22,000 total.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so does anybody want to share what was your worst credit experience?
Sure, I can start. That way maybe mine will go fall in the background. No, I will say, as a child, I thought if you had a credit card, you had money, first of all. So I learned that the hard way when I decided to become a credit card user. My mom made that very clear when I called her and told her I got my first credit card. She did not before then, because when you have a debit card, you can only spend the money you have, and so that's what I had. I got my very first credit card. It was a store credit card to a place that I really like to shop at, and spent quite a bit of money in 2 weeks, and I thought that was it. I was good. Well, then I got my first bill, and yes, I threw it away because I was like, I'm not reading this. Like, I've got this under control. Should have read it. One, I did not, and so then I called Mom, told her about it. She's like, you have to pay that. So set up the online payments. I don't do well with snail mail, so I did everything electronic and was paying $25 a month, that minimum fee. And it was never changing what my available credit was. And I did not understand that. Why, when I'm paying, am I not getting more to spend? And it was that interest that was getting me.
Any idea what the interest rate was on that?
I want to say it was like 16%, which
It's
wasn't
not too bad.
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah. For a consumer credit card, that's so a lot of consumer cards will like store kinds of credits usually are like in the 20% range.
And that one was 16%, but so I thought, okay, I can handle this. Got another store credit card. That one was 22. And then with my bank got a credit card. So triple whammy. And that bank one, me not really knowing what I was doing at the time, also was 22%. So that was not well at all. And I went about it the wrong way shopping. Like instead of, my dad was like, just buy gas, just pay bills, and then you can pay that off. That way you build credit. No, I went shopping. I spent way more than I definitely had in my bank account. So I have slowly started paying that off. When I said I was getting new habits, I am very, very much so working on to just pay for gas and bills with my credit card. I canceled one of my store credit cards so that I can't get in trouble with it. I still have the other one, but I'm a lot more careful with it. I've set my own credit limit, not the credit limit that the card gave me. And I am slowly, as I reach that limit, I'm not allowed to shop until I pay that off. So, and I don't just pay the minimum anymore. I boost that a little bit.
And we can talk about later about canceling accounts and credit cards and how it could hurt you actually. So
it sounds like maybe you learned probably a difficult way, probably not the hardest way to learn. I think your story is probably mild compared to some that
probably I have
could
not
tell that I could probably tell.
Well, and I'm very fortunate, yet I have not had to buy like a vehicle or a home. So those are probably very different than me going and buying some shoes.
But with you getting on top of it
shoes.
now, then your credit will be ready. When you are ready to purchase those things, you'll be in better shape. So that's good.
That's what I'm working on. I've started watching my credit score, trying to make sure I build it, get it on the right track. So
there you go.
Good. Jenny, got a story you want to share? You don't have to.
No, just when I was younger, just the usual, I'm off at college and these people are on campus and they're like, hey, want a credit card? And I'm like, no. Like, you can have a free T-shirt. Okay. And so I signed up, but I never used it. I mean, I really didn't. I never, ever touched it. And then let's see, moved back home, and I fell into the store credit card trap. And that turned around and bit me, but I ended up, I fixed that, but, paid that off. Those are done and stuff. And now I have a 7-month-old, and we have one credit card, and it's really just for emergencies. It, definitely helped during maternity leave, but, we're working on getting that one paid back down. So we've got it for emergencies and things like that only, and little stuff here and there. So, but yeah, we try not to use it unless it's just absolutely necessary.
And I think you hit on an important point early on in your discussion there about college campuses. I think that sometimes they
prey.
Yeah, they do. They kind of take advantage
predatory
of
lending. Yes.
Yeah. Oh man, we
they
could
do.
also
They're like,
get
those kids are all the way from home.
Yeah.
Let's get them going.
Yep.
Easy target.
Yeah.
Military's
like you said,
the same way.
I have a credit card. I have money. Right.
Absolutely. And I honestly, I believed it from the get-go. If I had a plastic card, I was rolling in the dough, and I wasn't.
Okay, so I'm probably the oldest person in the room. And I used to use checks, like literally checks, wrote them out, So kind of the same idea. Oh, if I got checks, I got money, right? And we didn't have debit cards, and I think debit cards are the most awesome thing. It has a lot of advantages to writing checks, and now that we can do things online, so we've come a long way.
That's right.
Okay, so we still have more stories to tell, and then we're not going to leave you just with bad stories. We also have some solutions for you,
hope.
too. There is hope.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not to say all credit's bad, because sometimes it's very helpful, it's very necessary, and can be very beneficial, but it's all about how you manage it. So we are going to take a little break again, but in the meantime, go check out our Facebook page,
That's right.
Healthy Living in Montgomery County. Give us a like, and don't forget about liking Lone Star Internet Radio. They're on the internet. I mean, on the
Facebook.
They're on the Facebook.
Radio is on internet. They're on Facebook as well. So we'll be back in just a few seconds.
You're listening to the Extension Hour with Texas A&M AgriLife. Visit us online at montgomery.agrilife.org.
We're starting to film our talk shows and putting them on YouTube. Your favorite Lone Star Community Radio show can be seen on YouTube. under our Lone Star Community Radio channel and on City of Conroe's Our City TV channel on Suddenlink Channel 12. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see the most recently released videos and find more information online at irlonestar.com/TV.
You're listening to the Extension Hour on Lone Star Internet Radio every Friday afternoon at 1 p.m.
And we are back. Happy to be back here on the internet. Like Lone Star Internet Radio on the internet. This is Amy Ressler. I've got with me Rachel Cooper, Jenni Adams, Josh Merillat, and we're talking about credit and credit cards. And we're doing a confessional here, just so that people listening, don't feel like all alone, because sometimes it's really easy to think, everybody else does great, and I'm the only one that has trouble with credit cards, money, managing money.
Sorry.
All right, Stevie, tell us your story.
Well, it was 2004.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
I was 18. I'd been working for a couple of years. I went to a high school where I had the opportunity to work full-time and go to high school at the same time. My dad had helped co-sign on a car for me. I started building a little credit. Turned 18, and I got my first credit card offer. I thought it was like the biggest dog, like Rachel, you thought you're just awesome, and I think it was anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000. I can't remember. It's a lot to give an 18-year-old with no responsibilities that kind of money. So I took the power and I ran, and I thought I was so cool because I could take my friends out to dinner all the time. I really didn't shop much for me. Like the stuff I bought, clothing-wise, I probably still wear, so I think I've gotten the use out of it. My favorite belt I've had since then. And anyway, more than you wanted to know. But I just racked it up. I maxed it out, just having a good time with my buddies and making people think I was cool. So it killed me. And then I forgot to pay it. It happens, I guess. It just came so overwhelming. You're like, forget it. I'll never pay it off. I'll just not even try. And it was terrible. It was stupid. And it hurt for a long time. Like, it took a lot. And it was after that credit card, it was, I can get this other credit card to pay off that credit card. But I didn't know about interest rates. And the second credit card was a higher interest rate. And it was awful.
No.
I was sinking fast. But thanks to the Army, they kind of require you to have better credit. So you're not a target and all this stuff. So they really helped me set a plan and talk to credit advisors and pay off that bad debt. So, and now I have one credit card, and I didn't for a long time because I was gun shy over messing myself up again. But when you travel, you almost have to have a credit card to rent a car or to get a hotel room or anything and make those reservations and things. So I got one, but I limited myself to knowing what I could afford to pay off. So now my plan is only spend what you can pay off when your paycheck comes, or when, every month at least. So things like gas, things you have to have anyway, use that credit card to help build your credit in a positive way, but get rid of that debt every month so it doesn't just pile up. So I had to learn the hard way. I was always that kind of kid, kind of stubborn and hard-headed.
You?
Yeah, me.
Yeah. Okay, so I probably struggled my entire adult life with credit. So I got married really young. I had a baby right away. So those credit card offers when I was in college too started. And then, when you are not making decisions completely on your own, then you have other people's needs to consider. And so sometimes we had, we needed stuff for the baby, needed to buy diapers, and so ended up just kind of not handling credit really well to begin with, so struggling just from pretty much from the very beginning. And so lots of things have changed in my life now, and I'm a little bit better about handling credit card. Couple of the worst credit decisions I've ever made. One is my student loans that I'm still paying for. So I've been out of school 20 years now. And so a long time, and I'm still paying student loans because went through some times too where we put it in forbearance as long as possible, put it on deferment as long as I could, and that interest rate just keeps. So all I've been doing for the last 20 years is paying interest on that crazy credit card. And then another thing I said, always make decisions on your own. Well, my ex-husband, and I decided we needed a TV, and we needed a big screen TV, and it was I don't know, what year was this? Probably early 90s, and it was like a $2,500 TV. So, really expensive even by now. Electronics have actually come down a lot. But he convinced me we needed to buy this TV. We had to have it. It was going to be the best investment, and we were getting a tax return soon, so we would pay it off immediately. Ask me if we paid it off when we got our tax return.
Yeah.
No, we did not. That television and that credit card bill outlasted my marriage. So, husband's gone. I still have the TV. I still have the bill. I've actually paid it off since then. I'm all good now. But, that was just one example of how bad decisions can kind of stick with you for a really long time. And so I think when we talked about the consumer decision making and that, we talked about the difference between a want and a need. And so that's a really good example of that. Television was one of those things that it was definitely a want. And actually I went quite a while without actually having, I had a television. It was that same big monster television that we had, but no cable, nothing but Netflix. So, $8-9 a month watching, it was, anyway, that was all we watched. And I had teenagers in the house at the time, and it worked fine. We just adjusted, and we saved lots of money by not having satellite or cable or all those kinds of things. So the difference between wants and needs. And so that big television, it was a want. We could have gotten by with something smaller, something less expensive. We were not living within our means, which was not a good thing. Yeah, and it's kind of, like I said, haunted me for a long time. And it takes years to get out of that kind of the baggage that comes along with it, and you do your best to pay it off, but things keep coming up.
Right. And that's, I think, a good point is the temptation that the credit cards bring is I can buy anything and have it now, whatever I want. Mm-hmm. And changing that ideology from using it for things you want, save up for those things, pay cash for those things you want, and use that credit card for things you need and things that you can pay off.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, like when I was about 20 years old, I had a friend that told me, "Oh, there's no such thing as you can't afford it in America." Right? You can afford something. You can afford it because there's always credit out there available, right? And naive me at 20 years old, I believed it. Think, "Oh yeah, we can get that big monster TV. Yeah. We can get this and that, even though we can't afford it."
Well, we've been raised in a country. This might be a little off. We've been raised in a country that's in debt, just like its people are, and it's. The example we see, it's like, oh yeah, just borrow some more money and pay for stuff. So
and there are times that obviously you can't really save up enough to buy a house and a car and and to pay it off all at once. Average middle American family, maybe some folks can, but so there's a little bit of debt that's actually going to be necessary. So let's talk about some smart ways to use debt. I think that you have some pointers on things you should never spend.
That's right. I found a great article it's called wisebread.com, and it's a community blog of financial smart people, unlike us, that really put good information out there for folks. So 5 things you should never buy with your credit card. Number 1, what does that say, Jenny?
Medical bills.
Medical bills. Never buy it. It says, facing a big medical bill from your doctor, don't use your credit card to pay for it. Instead, ask them to set up installment payments. Go directly to them and make those payments. Most medical providers will do this, and the interest rates they will charge, if any at all, will be lower than the rates attached to your credit card. So that's one thing. Number 2, income taxes. Same kind of concept. You can set up installment plans through the government to pay off your taxes. Most people get income tax returns. Some people, especially people who own their own business, or maybe 2 incomes together, make too much money to get a return. You have those taxes to pay every year. Unsecure online purchases is number 3. And that's a big deal.
That's my problem.
People, and unsecure specifically because you don't want your identity stolen.
Another confession.
You don't want your identity stolen. You don't want to purchase something on a website that somebody just put up overnight and they're going to take your information and run up your credit card debt.
That makes okay.
So how do you know?
When I say unsecure, I mean I'm unsecure and I purchased it over about the website being unsecured, that's definitely something to watch out for.
Do you know what to look for?
I guess I don't. Tell me,
The
please.
first thing and the easiest thing when you're on the website, the address bar at the top that says the web address you're at, HTTPS. S stands for secure. If it's just http.www.joeblow and
I feel like I need to go
Kokomo.com.
back and like reevaluate everything
Every
I've
website you've
bought.
ever been to.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
The second thing to look for at the bottom of your browser, in the little gray area, there'll be a little gold lock box with a lock,
closed.
and it's closed lock. So
Sometimes
that's
the lock's
secured.
open, sometimes it's closed.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
closed
so if
means
it's
secure.
open,
Yeah.
Yeah, then stay away from
Stay
it.
away-
Don't put
okay.
any
Yeah.
personal
And also look for
information.
that S at the top.
The S,
address bar.
HTTPS. They've been verified. They're secured. They have protocol set up in place for their servers are secure.
But insecure shopping is not a good idea.
Right. If you're
Don't drink
insecure,
and shop.
we can't help you.
no, my insecure shopping is not insecure. It's
Impulse?
impulse buyer. Yes, I'm a
impulse.
very bad impulse buyer.
Okay.
Like if
Me
I
too.
see it and I want it, I buy it.
It's not like
Hello. Sue
comfort
Lily.
shopping where you're like, I had a bad day. I need to.
Exactly. And Facebook has gotten so bad. They have all of these ads that pop up.
And they
And
read your
they're-
cookies
and
so they know what you like.
Yeah.
Exactly. They can tell what I'm interested in or what
Yep.
I've bought in the past.
Sneaky.
And then it comes up and I'm like, I have to have it. And really I don't. That want and need. That's the line I've learned to draw. Sometimes I ignore it, but I try
Control
my
your
best not to.
impulses, but also look for those secured sites.
Good.
Number 4, big vacations. And this is one thing I thought people would use credit cards for, is to splurge a little on themselves and their family. But it says it actually will cause more stress. You're going to spend more money than you would if you were paying cash, obviously. So save up for those, because you max out a credit card on a vacation, you come back, get the bill, you're going to need another vacation because you're depressed.
But small vacations are okay? We can use it for small vacations?
Maybe,
No.
no.
It's just Galveston.
Yeah, Galveston. Yeah, you might be able to pay that off next month or something. It's just, you know what you can afford, and don't go over that. Number 5 is college tuition. Real quick, kind of the same thing about medical bills and such. Student loans have a lower interest rate, so if you can get the student loans, they also have the deferment plans and stuff to help you until you start working.
Yeah,
You
don't
have to
defer
pay
it
them.
off too long.
Don't defer it off too long. But their interest rate will be lower than that 22% or that 16% even for those loans. So, and there's a couple more things we'll talk about real quick. Cash advances. Don't use that credit card for a cash advance. It'll add 1.5% to 8% more interest onto your card. They're going to fine you for that. That includes money orders, bail bonds, and gambling as well. Don't go to Vegas and swipe it. Use cash. Snail mail bills, when you pay your bill, don't write your credit card number out on the bill. It's just as bad as an unsecure website. Somebody can get that piece of mail, and they have your credit card number. It says big weddings. I don't have that problem. Let's skip that. Charitable donations.
Okay.
Cash only. So
We've got to take a break, but when we come back, we do not be left in despair. We are going to come back. We're going to talk about a few solutions that you can do to employ in your repertoire to cut down on your bills. So we'll be right back after this break.
You are listening to the Extension Hour on irlonestar.com.
Lone Star Community Radio is on FM. That's right. Set your radio dials and your button presets to Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1 coming in June 2016. To celebrate this edition and the addition of video versions of our talk show and music shows on YouTube and cable TV, we are offering special sponsorship rates, which include free audio spots that are played throughout our broadcasts. Interested? Check out our sponsor rates for shows just like this one you're listening to right now online at irlonestar.com/sponsor. Or call the station at 936-647-5747. Reaching the people of Montgomery County with Montgomery County's community radio station with Lone Star Community Radio.
You're listening to the Extension Hour with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension. Visit us online at montgomery.agrilife.org.
Welcome back. This is Amy Ressler, County Extension Agent for Family and Consumer Sciences. I've got Rachel, I've got Jenny, I've got Josh, and we're talking about credit and credit cards. And we've just told really sad stories about our credit and about 5 things you should never buy with credit. So I just wanted to mention a few things. If you are having issues with credit, or if you have a group that wants to know more information about anything related to financial management or credit, we've just told these stories, and you may be thinking, I'm not going to call those people. But we've got really good information, and it's realistic, too. So I'm not going to tell you a lot of things like, I've never had problems, so you should do what I do, or you should do this. We try to provide real-life solutions. So that's what our classes are about. So if you've got a group or someone who's interested in learning more about some of those things, please give us a call, and we'll see what we can do to provide something to help you out. But in the meantime, I want to leave you with a couple of things that can help you out. So one thing that I want to say is if you are really, really, really struggling and you find yourself, those things that we just mentioned about 5 things you never should use, and you're thinking, there's not enough money, I don't even know how to not use them because I've gotten into such a there's not enough income, just there's not enough to go around. And a lot of folks can find themselves in that situation. I just want to mention there is assistance that's available. I mean, there's a lot of, Josh mentioned working with creditors, trying to come up with payment plans, but you really do have to be proactive, and it's not comfortable. It's not fun to do that, but it's important to really take those steps. And one thing that can also help is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. So if you find yourself even needing to use credit cards for food because you're having trouble making food last through the month or whatever, then we do SNAP education to teach people to use their food. It used to be food stamps. So to teach people to use their SNAP wisely. And I know that it's got a little bit of a stigma with it, but really it comes down to taking care of yourself and your family. Do what's necessary. So that's one thing. And we've got all kinds of information on that SNAP Ed program too, SNAP program, and the education component to it. So if you want to know more about that, let us know. All right. So we've got this thing called Power Pay. Woo. What do you think Power Pay is?
A way to help you get out of debt powerfully.
Somebody gives you a whole lot of money just to pay off your debt.
It's a superhero.
Yes.
I need a superhero, so please tell me.
Utah State University Extension came up with this program called Power Pay, and I'm trying to say Power Play, but it's a Power Pay, and it's also similar. So Josh recognized it as Dave Ramsey has a very similar policy called snowball effect.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So getting out of debt with a snowball effect or snowball effect. Yeah. It's kind of the same thing. So think about a snowball. It grows and grows and grows. So the Power Pay, same kind of principles. What you do is you take a list of all your bills, right? And total outstanding balance and monthly payment. So you take the one, you look at the one, find the one that's the least amount of total due, the lowest amount, and you do what you can to pay that off as fast as you can. And so you do that by any kind of extra money you can save. So if that means not buying a Starbucks coffee this week, or not buying as much alcohol, or maybe quit smoking, or maybe there's a lot of things that we spend money on that we really don't need. So they're those wants, not necessarily needs. So if you can find a way to save some money, use that and apply it to that one that has the smallest amount, right? So say it was $200 and it was a $15 a month minimum payment. So you get that $200 paid off. Then you take that $15 and you add it to the other money that you're saving that you're not spending on other kinds of things, and you add that $15 to it, and then you apply that to the next lowest amount. Lowest amount. Yeah. So you're gonna small to big, because this creates a snowball effect. As you pay those off, you're adding to what you can apply towards the bigger bills. So eventually you could get to where all of those, if you added up every monthly payment that you make now and you were applying that, say, to your mortgage, you could pay your house off even faster. Yeah. Because it just creates the snowball by adding up each one of those.
One thing to remember, while you're paying off that first one, you're still paying the minimum payment on these other credit. You're not letting them fall behind.
Yes, yep.
So you can take those payments you've been paying the whole time, add them to the next payment, and just build on
always
it.
Pay the minimum payments, right. Definitely.
Yeah.
But so what happens with some folks sometimes is they're like, well, what if I just spread that out and I pay a little bit more on each one of them? Isn't that a good idea?
Not as good of an idea.
It's not as good of an idea. It's going to take you a little bit longer to actually pay that off. So if you are very methodical about it. So like I said, it's called Power Pay. debt elimination, and it was developed by the Utah State University. And they actually have an app that you can download, so you can keep it on your phone. You put in all the things. What am I supposed to pay?
Rachel's going to download it right now. PowerPay Debt Elimination. Look that up in your iTunes store.
Yep. And so it's a really good way. And the other thing is, it takes a lot of patience. I mean, it really does take time to pay that down. And it's we talk about weight management. You didn't gain weight overnight. You can't lose it overnight. So credit is different. You can definitely gain debt overnight, no problem. Yes. But paying it off usually is going to take some time for the average person.
And rebuilding that credit score does take a long time. Just because you pay off that credit card today doesn't mean you get your score back tomorrow. You've got to prove yourself all over again. So
most definitely.
Well, and side note to the PowerPay Debt Elimination, it is a free app.
It is free.
Yes,
it's a free app.
Absolutely free.
Not adding to that debt, 99 cents.
That's right.
But it's a free app, so
why not?
Why not get it?
Another thing to watch out for. So there's lots of offers out there to help you get out of debt for only $99.99.
Oh yeah.
So watch out for those as well. And then the other thing's just good habits. So I talked about my bad habits, and I think that over the years, hopefully, I've taught my children a little bit better. I love you, Sierra and Mac.
Aww.
But
and Roar, you want to be a good example for Roar?
He's talking about Rory, my beautiful little granddaughter. We're going to be a really good example for her as well. I love you too, Ro. Okay, so. We are almost running out of time. We never have enough time to talk about what we want to talk about. What's the deal, Dick? Give us some more time. So we have to leave pretty soon. Last words?
It's been great. Follow us on Facebook. Keep up with us. Send us your questions on Facebook about financial management or anything you might have. And healthy living in Montgomery County.
And also, Montgomery County 4-H, you can follow us on Facebook. To start your kids at a young age, we do have, we talked about last time, the consumer decision-making contest, being smart shoppers, making those right decisions.
Are you teaching that, Rachel?
I am not, no. No, but it is a contest. It gives them the chance to, say you have 4 different items, place them in order, first through fourth, of what the best consumer decision is, what the worst consumer decision is. And then it also gives them the chance to explain it. It's called reasonings in this contest, and we're giving them the opportunity to explain to us why they think this is the better consumer decision. And at the end, people that are much smarter with consumer than I am, consumer education, give them the correct answers and why this would be smarter than the other. So they still have that learning aspect,
that's great.
But get to be competitive, have fun with it. Some of the classes are really cool to do. So that's something you can do. You can contact the 4-H office at 936-539-7823, extension 3. If you're not involved in 4-H, talk to Alicia. We'll get you that information.
And come to our canning class tomorrow.
And if you need any more information, give us a call. Same number, extension 4. Thanks for listening. See you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for checking out this production on Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's radio station. For more information on this show and other shows on Lone Star, check us out online at irlonestar.com. If you're interested in sponsoring a program on Lone Star Community Radio and reaching the local audience of Montgomery County on FM, internet, and TV media, please call 936-647-5747 or contact us online at irlonestar.com. This recording is a Lone Star Community Radio production, produced by the show host and Dick Schisler of Lone Star Community Radio. Interested in volunteering as a music DJ or starting your own talk show? Contact Dick Schisler at dick@irlonestar.com or by phone at 936-647-5747.